Whatever became of the secretary? You know, that game gal of the 2002 surprise hit who went along with her boss's fetishes and captured the hearts of millions? It showed how appealing a brave, daring, and sweet spirit can be, even when materializing somewhere beyond the mainstream. Alright, I'm speaking for myself here, but I'm also speaking of spunky, straight-ahead, earthy Maggie Gyllenhaal, who has been appearing in quite a few ensemble pieces ever since, such as Casa de los Babies, The Great New Wonderful, supporting roles, Adaptation, Mona Lisa's Smile, and then, of course, there's the World Trade Center. This is a working actress, and a increasingly important one. But where are the starring roles she so richly deserves? The ones some of us have been waiting for? Well, duck. Gyllenhaal films are suddenly coming at us with double barrels. First, it's Trust the Man, a romantic comedy and another ensemble, albeit with more prominence to the roles. Quickly on the heels of that, in a quite different vein that I promise will tap into regions of your empathetic mind and capacity to be affected by a performance of conviction. This is Maggie Gyllenhaal as Sherrybaby, a character study of a parole junkie mother. What the actress does with it is so fully invested and fascinating, despite a one-note screenplay. She fulfills all the promise of her debut role and takes us on a new trip into the wrinkles of bad choices. You could say it's been worth the wait. Writer-director Laurie Collier starts her story of character Sherry Swanson just as Sherry gets paroled from a drug-related jail term and returns home to New Jersey. She's no innocent and doesn't try to act like one. She's street smart and far tougher than she looks, strolling around in her sexy outfits and determined to stay straight with her parole officer, a guy who likes to keep his charges on a short leash. What's truly at stake isn't just freedom. It's daughter 8-year-old Alexis, who has been taken care of by brother Bobby and his wife Marcia during the 3-year jailhouse stint. Now motherhood is what it's all about for Sherry, and she knows she needs to get a job, keep it, stay clean, and win her child over. Simple. Yeah. As though she doesn't already have a big mountain to climb, Marcia, out of a distorted and possessive love for the child, is the primary obstacle. She wants to control things and goes to the extent of telling Alexis to refer to her mother as Sherry rather than Mom. When Alexis does, it emits waves of panic and self-doubt into Sherry. But self-doubt isn't something that affects this case-hardened realist for very long, and she throws it off quicker than a weak fix. She does what it takes to gain some positive traction, taking up with a sensitive and understanding fellow addict from her support group and calling upon Bobby's brotherly love to give her a chance with her child. Before this ends, as engaged as we are in the resolute determination of this tough babe who looks a lot like an icon for America's girl next door, with the upturned nose and blue-gray eyes that pierce like lit crystal, we realize not only how far down into the depressing world of the addict we've been taken, but that the scope of the story is restrained within tight, slightly wearisome boundaries. Why is this a problem? I theorize that the narrative is a wee bit too much like life, which can be grindingly narrow in focus and relentlessly unforgiving. Life, too, tends to be repetitive and molded by habits that resist change, sometimes to an annoying degree. There's just enough of that here to elongate the theme of a troubled woman, even if she's a take-no-prisoners type who allows no one to decide who and what she is. Fortunately, the stunning portrayal and the compassionate content of Collier's writing combine to remove the cliches associated with the subject. It leaves us with the feeling of having had a cold dose of reality, but you'll forgive me if I don't want to get addicted to it. In the fine supporting cast, Giancarlo Esposito plays the parole officer, Danny Trejo, her boyfriend from the support group, little Ryan Simpkins is 8-year-old Alexis, Brad William Henke is brother Bobby, and Kate Burton his wife Marcia. Sam Bottoms is Sherry's idiot father. Once Hollywood producers and directors again clap eyes on the uniqueness Miss G can bring into a challenging context, we might just get as much of her as we do Jennifer Aniston, Kate Hudson, Katie Holmes, and all those whose ranges don't exhibit a similar level of panache in this kind of edgy territory. Secretary probably made them nervous about Gyllenhaal, and I'd guess casting people have been scratching their heads over the prospect of handing her a lead role. But now Sherrybaby may well provide them another shot at envisioning the possibilities. It makes one wonder what studio honchos need in order to recognize a bright light in their presence. An Oscar nomination? Well, I don't want to throw a hex on anybody, but well, go see if you don't agree with me that there's just a chance here for Maggie G to cop one. It's a commanding performance, and an Oscar-worthy one.